And I was like, man, this is all happening for a reason. It was just like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into it, and just seeing how what God's done in people's lives and the countless testimonies I've heard in life. Me just being here seeing what He did in your life.
Yeah.
I told you the other day, man, I saw from where you started to
Yeah.
where you at now. And
Yeah,
it's
bro.
like, and it's not like I always wanted like to, what could God give me?
Yeah.
But it's more like what could God do in my life?
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because I always felt like it was something missing, or
That's
I always
powerful.
felt like I'm not where I should be, or and this is by far not like, I want to do this because I want to I do want to benefit for it, but not for like worldly things and materialistic things.
Yeah.
I want to just see who am I supposed to be? Who did God tell me to be?
Right.
What can He do in my life?
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I'm open to it, and
Yeah.
going in head
Wow.
full force, head first, like
Amen. Bro, like that was so powerful right there, man. Like I feel like you explained beautifully on, what it meant, for you, the honor that it was when you asked me to baptize you. All right, welcome to a special episode of Unshakable Conversations, and I got a special guy with me, everybody. So many of y'all probably, you see me, you see my wife, and you guys know that we got 5 children, but he's part of those 5 children. This is my brother, you know what I'm saying, in Christ, my brother, period, and my guy, Samuel Santiago. So our oldest 2 children, Nana and Caleb, he is the father of those 2 children, and I have had the privilege of knowing this man coincidentally years before his children was even born, and years before he was even with my wife Josie. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be an interesting conversation that we are here to share. Listen, guys, strap up, grab some popcorn, like, subscribe, share, all of that. If you are new to the channel here, listen, my name is Kenneth Allen Thomas, leadership strategist, coach, father, all of that, husband, all the good things, the dancing dad, whatever it is that you want to call me. But we are here right now because we believe that God is about to do something amazing, and we have some stuff to talk about. Me and Sam have known each other for the better part of 25, 26 years?
26, maybe even 27 years.
27 years, about that. So, they know, a lot of them know me, but some don't know you, right? Because you're not really on social media like that. You know what I'm saying? You're not on social media and everything. But I want you to go ahead and just, tell the audience, a little bit about yourself.
All right. Like you said, my name Sam Santiago. Born in New York.
Yep.
Raised in New Jersey.
New York stand up.
Yeah. I moved around a lot, like as a kid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've been all over, but
Yeah.
mainly raised in New Jersey and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, my dad, I got a sister and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just a Jersey kid, man. Just I think that's where we met was in, going to St. Joe's in
Yep.
in Beverly, right?
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah, so we met, and make sure you like pull the mic closer to you as well too. There you go. So we met in middle school, right?
Yeah,
So we met in middle school.
7th grade for me.
7th grade for Sam, 8th grade for me. Now here's the thing: I was supposed to be in your class.
Was it?
Yeah, I was supposed.
Mr. McMullen.
I was supposed to be in 7th grade, but what happened was I got skipped.
Oh, I never knew.
You never knew that?
No.
I got skipped from 6th grade to 8th grade.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I went straight to Mr. Shields' class.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was in 6th grade. I think we had Miss Selinsky in 6th grade, and then I was supposed to get Mr. McMullen with you,
Yeah.
but my grades ended up being like I ended up testing out of 7th grade and got skipped to 8th grade.
I never knew that.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
So I bet everybody wants to know how the heck, right? Do we know each other before our children and before Josie and all of that, right? So Like that's, I mean, that's how we just kind of explained it or whatever. We were in school together, grew up, and the thing was is that throughout, like after middle school, like we kind of like
Yeah, it was funny because honestly, me even coming to St. Joe's was just by chance.
right.
Because I originally, when we moved to Willenboro, I originally went to Memorial.
Mm-hmm.
And, had some issues being
Yeah.
a new kid in Memorial, getting into a lot of fights
Mm-hmm.
in a small period of time. So, my mom and dad was like, all right, let's put them in like a private school.
Mm.
And St. Joe's, I lived in Somerset.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's Beverly's, right there.
Right there. Yeah.
So, it was actually by chance. And, like you said, knew each other at St. Joe's. And then after that, I think you went to Holy Cross, right?
I went to Holy Cross.
I
Yeah.
went to BCIT for a
Okay.
year.
Uh huh.
And we just kind of, just went
Yeah.
on paths, And I think it wasn't until what? Wasn't 45th Street Pub when I was working
I
as a
think
bouncer? Was it that I
it
had
was.
seen you again, right?
Yeah.
And you,
Yeah.
when you and Timothy came in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working as a
I
bouncer.
was going through a divorce at that time.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
We were both, and at that time, Nana was like 3.
Yeah.
Me and Josie
Yeah.
were living. We had her. We was living off
Yeah.
of, over there on Westfield Avenue.
Right. So we're talking like 2007, 2008, around there.
Yeah.
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 Wow, yeah.
That's so crazy.
And so that's kind of like when you came into 45th Street Pub that day and I was working.
Mm-hmm.
We that was kind of like us kind of like
Reconnecting.
kinda,
Yeah.
reconnecting
But the
and
thing
stuff
was
like that.
is that I didn't even know, I didn't know Josie.
Nah.
I didn't know your children.
Nope.
We were just I didn't know anything at all, right? So I don't want people to think like, yo, I just sat there and swim.
nah,
You know what I'm
it was
saying?
nothing
It
like
was
that.
nothing like that. Like I didn't know. I didn't even know, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know until Nana started dancing.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, yo, this is such a small world because you came to pick her up from dance one day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, what you doing
Yeah,
here?
yeah. I remember Joe's like, oh, we got I put her in the new because Yanni and Naya was your students first.
Yeah.
Emily had, and she's like, oh, I want to put her in the dancer. And when I'm like, that's a teacher?
Yeah.
I know him.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it's a small world, man.
Small world.
And in Jersey, like especially in South, everybody knows everybody.
Everybody knows. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool because like you said, we went our separate ways, reconnected,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think a little bit after that, we I didn't see you for a little while.
Yeah.
And then really was when, like you said, when Nana kind of started dancing at your studio. That was like the real start of kind of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
And so backstory, everybody. Josie talks a little bit about this in her book Restored. Make sure you go on Amazon and go grab that.
Yeah.
So Nana and Josie and Caleb, they all because you guys were separated at that time.
Yeah.
You were getting married, right? Were you getting married at that time?
Let me see. Because I got married, that was like 2012.
Yeah.
It was kind of like around that
Yeah.
same time, like, yeah, I guess you could say
It's around
maybe
here.
dating, going into getting married
Right.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. So Josie and the kids, they moved to Hawaii,
Yeah.
move across country, right? Across the world, right? And then several months later, Josie's talked about this many times. She was going through a divorce and stuff like that with her ex-husband, and then comes back. And then me and Josie had got together after that because we just, we was connecting and everything from that standpoint. But what I want the people to understand and know is that we never really had like, you ever know, like when a new guy comes into the mix.
I knew you was going to get it, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's funny you brought that up because I already knew that was going to kind of be part of, and people had that perception. Like,
Right.
And I'll be honest with you. A lot of, I assume a lot of people go through that. It's natural.
Right.
It's like, who's this guy,
Yeah.
and he's around my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And unfortunately, a lot of men sometimes, I don't want to say they have those feelings because they're like, oh, who's this man in my kids' lives? And we're like, oh, who's this man with my ex? And
Yeah.
And a part of it is, you're the new guy in the picture, and who's this? And you know what I mean? Sometimes there's a little bit of maybe animosity, or,
Right.
Like it's a funny, weird area and stuff like that. It's a stranger coming into the mix. But with you, I knew you already.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I ever told you this, but Josie, I had kind of had a little bit of feeling that y'all were kind of talking, and some family members had told me like, hey, this
Yeah.
might be going on,
Yeah.
and a lot of people, I feel like expected me to like be upset,
Yeah.
or like it was a little odd, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we had known each other,
Of course.
it was and but it wasn't like that for me,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of it has to do with like maturity and stuff like that because most people will be like, hey, it's like territorial type of thing. But when she actually came to me and told me that, she was like, look, out of respect, like this is what's going on. And I was actually kind of relieved because, especially when, you separate from your children's mother, I think every man's biggest fear or biggest thing that they need to overcome or they will overcome or have to encounter at some point is when another man comes into the mix
Yeah.
and he's around your children, he's living with your children and help raising your children.
Yeah.
It's something you really can't avoid.
Yeah.
Especially, unless your mother stays, single for the rest of her life. Like,
Right.
So it's kind of inevitable.
Mm.
And when you came into the picture, it was like half the battle was already done.
Yeah.
I didn't have to worry about
Wow.
a stranger because I knew you. I knew you as a person. I knew your character. I knew you was a good dude. So I was kind of relieved in a sense. I was like, well, I'm actually kind of happy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't have to worry about like who's a stranger
Right.
living under the same roof as my kids. Like,
Yeah.
what's his intent? What's his character? What type of man is this? Is going to be around my children because I already knew you.
Yeah.
For years.
Yeah.
So. And it might sound weird, but I was relieved. I was actually kind of happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
As weird as that sounds.
And I like honestly, I was too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I know Sam, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like it's different if you really don't know the individual, I guess. And it can go either way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I understand that, it's not ideal on how it went down or anything like that. And we actually became closer,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, in the last 11 years versus that huge gap in our lives that we weren't really even connected at all.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So like you figure from middle school and then from high school all the way until like
because I was like 20 when I was bouncing at the bar. I was like 23.
yeah, I'm like I'm 3 years, I'm like 2 years older than you
Maybe
or whatever.
22 or
Yeah,
something,
so
yeah.
I was 25, at that time. So it was like, yeah, because I was getting divorced and everything that that at that 24, 25 years old. So I'm like, yo, man, like, I know that me and Sam ain't gonna have no like riffraff or nothing like that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And I really wanted like, and people, keep it real with you, people didn't think that I should have even been with Josie because she had baggage. You know what I'm saying? But yo, man, like I knew for a fact that I'm like, yo, I believe this is the one I'm supposed to be with and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm under the mindset of how can I even help the children, as well too. Like I was telling you in the car, about honoring your dad or whatever and all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying, at all times. So, I get it. Most men or whatever, it's not ideal, for them because you never know what you're going to get. But I think that, with the maturity, as you mentioned, like I think that if people learn how to be a little bit more mature in the situations and not allow society to dictate the outcome, because that's what you see.
That's pretty much what it is, man. It's like, and it's like the world we live in. It's like it's almost like a social construct,
Right.
It's like predetermined. Like a society tells you you have to act this way or react this way,
Right.
Because that's the norm.
That's the norm.
And because I didn't react that way, or y'all are weirder. That's a weird situation. I go,
Yeah.
nah, like I think many people can actually learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just the truth because, like you said, the focus shouldn't be on like who your ex is with or who. It's like, man, like who's around your kids? Who You know, because that's a bigger picture. Like
Yeah.
you know, the relationship with the mother's over.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's just focus on the kids and how you could do things. You know, for the betterment of them. And it's just a lot of with maturity. You know, I might have been a little younger. I might have not had that reaction. You know,
Yeah.
like because I wasn't always mature. Like,
Yeah.
but
We were all there. You know what
yeah,
I'm
like the
saying?
focus. You know, what I mean, it should always be
But
about the children. So.
one thing I could say about you, bro, is that you know you've always treated me with respect. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
same here.
and vice versa.
Yeah,
I
same here.
feel, and I think that that's really what it comes down to. If we grown men at the end of the day, right? We got we got things that we got to do. We got bills. There's things that we want to do in life, and drama ain't one of them.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel that there are so many people out there in the world that focus so much on the little things and focus on the drama that they missing the big picture at the end of the day. They're missing the fact that, yo, if you got a good man that is coming in to help, not take your place. And that was the one thing that I vowed on. I'm not coming in here to take your place. I'm coming in here to assist, right? Because one thing that I know about having good people in your life is, biblically speaking or whatever, it's always wise to have good counsel, right? And I feel like I was always like a good counsel, for our children. Like I was always like that can bring some form of good perspective based on my upbringing because of all the people, whatever, that I was always around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing that I continue to strive to be is good counsel for the children. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Man, there was there's always kind of you. You actually even did the same thing between me and Josie too.
Yeah.
A lot of the times.
Yeah.
Like, and it was weird because I used to tell myself like, man, like, you know, like I said, not the audience might not know everything, but me and Josie didn't always have the greatest relationship.
Yeah.
At one point, it was bad, like very broken relationship, and I used to use you a lot. It was kind of like my middle person, like my
Yeah.
like my
Yup.
mediator. You know what I mean? Like
Yup.
I would talk to you. I found myself talking to you more than her about
Yeah.
certain things because our communication always
Yeah.
was there and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Just because I ain't want no problems. You know what I'm saying? It's too much. In my mind, I got too much stuff to do. I got too many things to do. I got too many things that I want to do, and drama ain't one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't have that
Don't
going
benefit
on.
nobody.
It don't benefit nobody. It's a waste of time. So can we lock this down in a sensible time frame or whatever, so that we can be able to get on and move on to the next level? Well, I don't want anything lingering.
Yeah.
You understand? So I was always willing to play that middle role to bridge the gap. Why? Because the children see that as well too. And I didn't want them, I wanted to exemplify what a good blended family would look like. Yeah. One of the things that I think that helped me was I grew up in a house where we always had somebody there.
Okay.
Like we always had, like, my cousins always lived with me, always had like or aunt or somebody was always living at the house with us, right? So it's technically me, my mom, my dad, and my sister, right? But we've always had somebody, else living, with us. And my older brother Nakia. You know what I mean? Nakia, my older brother Nakia came, he's not like biologically my brother or whatever, but he's my brother. So he's been with us since he was 13. You know what I'm saying? So outside of that, it was like it was always something going on. So I always kind of knew that I got some sense on when things get blended together and families get blended together and how that's supposed to work. So I think that kind of helped me, in a way as well, moving forward. So, but I want to get into something, man. Caleb just turned 16.
Yeah.
All right. So
Young man.
the oldest son just turned 16. You flew all the way from Florida to come and see him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? How was that, yo? What was going on in your mind when you first seen him?
I'll be honest with you because I didn't expect him to grow as much as he did from last.
Yeah, he shot up, right?
Yeah, he shot up and he got a little dirt, he got some dirt on his lip.
Little bit. It ain't that thick though.
Yeah, but just to see him, man, it's like, I told him this other day, like, no matter how big and how old you get, I got this like mental picture in my mind of all my children and what they look like when I see them. Like I always just see this little child.
Yeah.
and all of them was like this, like a 2, 3 year old version of them. And I just remember him, this, little beautiful, little big headed boy just running around with a beautiful smile. Like,
Yeah.
to see him like turn to like a young man,
Yeah.
like a grown man, like he's about to be there, like.
Yeah, bro.
And to see him like that, it was a lot, man. It's a lot. And then he finally passed me.
Yeah.
I'm happy. You know what I mean? Because for a while there, I was like, hey, my son's gonna be short. He's
Yeah.
like little. And now he might be like a good, maybe 2 inches taller than me now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just
With
see,
shoes on.
Yeah. But just to see him, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, man, like that's.
But tell him don't get it twisted.
Yeah, I told him that.
Don't get it twisted.
I told him that the other day.
You got 2 pops here, son.
I told him that when we was at the restaurant last night. I was looking at him. He was like, what? You sizing me up? Don't give my son, man. You might be tall on me, man. You know what I mean? So, like, but it was just beautiful, man. Just to see him and, like I don't know, like, just a reflection of myself. Like, my first, my first son, like.
Yeah.
And just to see him, like, prospering and filling out and growing and on the verge of becoming a man is, it was good, man.
Yeah.
It was good.
That's dope. That's dope. Look at me hitting the microphone and everything up in here. So I wanted to, like, because I'm like, dang, because we started talking about this in January and what to do for the 16th birthday.
Yeah.
I just thought, like, yo, it would be the perfect gift. Because normally you get a party and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? He ain't seen you in a couple months or whatever. So I thought it would be like a dope gift or whatever to just be like, yo, let's make this happen, for him. Because I know for a fact how important, a father is to a young man. And like him seeing his face was priceless. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, you can't make a better moment.
I gotta watch it. I gotta see the video because, like, I was there. I seen his face, but I think I was just so caught up in the thing.
I know.
I just, wanted to grab him and hug him and stuff. So
yeah.
But
yeah, man. Yeah. And so moving forward, bro. Like, I'm gonna bring some things up here because I feel like the world needs to see where we're at. Right. As a family, we are about 11 years in. Right. We're 11 years in, and we have been there for, one another. We have talked about things. We've talked about things in private, things that are confidential. And I think that has been like a real huge success in our relationship, to where, like, these things can be done. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that I never thought that was going to happen, like, kind of blew my mind, and we did it when you got here, is you got baptized the other day, bro.
Yeah.
You gave your life to the Lord, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it surprised me too, man. Cause my battle with faith and stuff like that, and some, for those that may not know, like, I wasn't really raised in church.
Yeah.
My mom did her best to, set examples for me and stuff like that as a kid. But I really kind of got introduced to, like, religion maybe, like, around, like, 14, 13, like, Catholic church.
Yeah.
And my mom, she did her best. She did what she felt was right. And, as a child, everybody that gets to, in a certain sense, believes in God.
Yeah.
And, but it was like when I got old enough to ask my own questions and kind of have my own mind and stuff like that, I kind of went down the path of questioning. And I literally, man, would, as a church, and pull deacons and bishops and priests and pastors to the side and have conversations and questions. And at that time, looking back at it now, I was trying to, like I said, I'm a big science guy.
Yeah.
I was always trying to find an answer or something like that, to looking at it now, to, like, questions that maybe aren't really meant to be understood or might not have answers. Like, I felt like I went down this rabbit hole of just trying to figure something out.
Yeah.
That I felt like I had to have this infinite, like, understanding of, and I struggled with faith and all that stuff. And I'm 38 now. I'll be 39 in July. And like I said, the last several years, I really went like soul searching,
Mm.
trying to understand God and learn about Him and stuff like that, and just God in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point when I was younger, I didn't really understand God and religion. I thought at one point, I was like an atheist, like, oh,
Mm.
I don't believe in nothing.
Mm.
I got older and then have kids and you experience life,
Wow.
and I realized, hey, there is a God. I
Mm.
just didn't proclaim, to know exactly who He was.
Mm.
And as I, would read more and just learn things and stuff like that, it wasn't until like the last several years that I really was like trying to seek God out. And like I said, this might sound weird, man, but I had a question that I've been asking since I was like literally like maybe 15 years old,
Mm.
14 years old, maybe
Yeah.
even younger. Right around the same time I got my confirmation done.
Mm.
I had to do my confirmation um, at this church. My mom went to a Catholic church, and the question was always about like who is God? Why why is there more than one God and this and that and it was just several questions about the Him being the Trinity, the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, things I didn't understand. And like I told you the other day, I came across just scrolling one day after a long conversation with a coworker
Mm.
about God and stuff like that, and she had kind of opened my eyes and enlightened me to some things and kind of opened my heart. And I came across this TikTok video of a pastor speaking, and Philip Anthony Mitchell, I
Yeah.
believe. And within like that little 60-second clip,
Mm-hmm.
I got the answer to like questions I had for over 2 decades.
Wow.
And it was literally like just like a light bulb went on, and like my heart was just open. And it was just like something that I kind of already been teetering on getting baptized
Mm-hmm.
since like 2022, 2023.
Yeah.
And then like these last several months, I kind of had to burn, so
Mm.
it was on my heart again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, this is all happening for a reason. It was
Mm.
just like,
Mm.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into it, and just seeing how what God's done in people's lives and the countless testimonies I've heard in life. Me just being here, seeing what He did in your life.
Yeah.
I told you the other day, man, I saw from where you started to
Yeah.
where you at now, and
Yeah,
it's
bro.
like, and it's not like I always wanted like to, what could God give me,
Yeah.
but it's more like what could God do in my life.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because I always felt like
Mm.
it was something missing, or
That's
I always
powerful.
felt like I'm not where I should be, or
Mm-hmm.
and this is by far nothing like, oh, I want to do this because I want to. I do want to benefit for it, but not for like worldly things and materialistic things.
Yeah.
I want to just see who am I supposed to be? Who did God intend me to be?
Right.
What can He do in my life?
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I'm open to it, and
Yeah.
going in
Wow.
full force, head first, like
Amen. Bro, like that was so powerful right there, man. Like I feel like you explained beautifully on, what it meant, for you, the honor that it was when you asked me to baptize you.
yeah,
Bro, I ain't never baptized
Yeah.
nobody, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
when I read Matthew 28:19, go out and make disciples, right? And then baptize them in the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, and it's just like, man, it was an emotional day.
yeah, it was.
Like I was emotional just throughout the day. Like, Lord, you want, is this real? Like, you want me? Like, what's so crazy is that, you know what I'm saying? Like, our oldest two, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got kids together, you know what I'm saying? In the sense of, you being the father, of the oldest two, me being the father of them, like, it's like, dang, yo, we been rocking together for real, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that we co-parent this thing, you know what I mean? And it's just like, dang, I have the honor of doing that. And it blessed my heart to see you like say, you know what, I'm going all the way in. And we dipped you in that water and you came up brand new. And just looking back at some of the pictures and stuff like that, like it's just like, man, you can see the how the rays or whatever of God is just like,
And that's what it and not to sound corny,
Yeah.
but that's what it felt like when I looked 'cause I was cold. I was like, man, it's a little nippy out here. I was like, let me sit down and just, dry up in the sun. And when I felt that warmth on me,
Yeah.
and I just looked up and I was
Yeah.
like the sun was just like between the two houses and just
Yeah.
it was like in the perfect spot. And that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Like I felt like God was just shining His light on me, and and this has come from somebody that I never speak like that. I never
Right.
and to be professing it now and saying it, it's like like that's how it felt, man. That's exactly what it felt like. That's exactly what it felt like. Like the timing was just crazy.
It was, man. And to do it even on Caleb's birthday, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you got born again on your son's birthday, bro.
I didn't even really think about that until you just said it right now.
You dig what I'm saying? It's the day that God gave you, right? And 10 is a sign of new beginnings. You know what I'm saying? And you got born again on 310. And it's so crazy because your son was born on 310.
Yeah.
So y'all both was born on the same. You got reborn and he was born on. That's wild to me.
Didn't even think about that.
You know what I'm saying? And it's only God or whatever, because for years you were like other way, and then, bro, let me tell you, man. Like when I say that, like for these last couple of weeks, strongly, like I was praying for you, like for real. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, yo, man, and even before that, like just in general, you know what I'm saying? Like because I know the battle, I know the struggle, I know what it is, but only God can do it. And you've probably heard the answer that Philip Anthony Mitchell said, but it was something about his voice. It was something about him. It was something about what God gave him to display out into the world that hits you different. And this is what I say all the time. You can hear the same thing multiple times from multiple people, but every single person will hear this right here, what I'm about to say. My sheep know my voice. My sheep know my voice. So when you hear God through Anthony Mitchell, you're not hearing Philip Anthony Mitchell. You're hearing God through him. That was the vessel that was used to speak to you, right? It wasn't him. It was God working through him to speak to you, because that's how he was going to identify you. That was the voice that he was going to use to give to you so that you can hear God clear as day.
Well, it worked, man. It got me because it was. Even now, like I get a little emotional just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because I was always the last person to ever think, like get baptized and any of that stuff. But like you said, like it was literally like just getting the answers to a test, or unlocking a mystery that you've been it was just like that. Like finally.
Yeah.
Like I understand now. I get it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And,
I understand it.
Yeah, man.
Lethal
Like,
Shooter, I understand it now.
That's what that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And it was just like when I felt that feeling, I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about, right? Like some people are out there, they don't even know, like, God, is this what you want me to do? Or they question God so much.
No, that was me.
Yeah, they just they got all these questions. And this is proof in the pudding right here. I don't know if you know this or whatever, but right now you blessing somebody out there in the airwaves, right? Right now you are an unbeliever, right? Yeah. You are an unbeliever, and then God worked his way to you, right? Pay attention. You ain't find God. God found you.
Just literally.
God found you. See, we always sit there and throw that out there like, I found God. No, you only find God if he allows himself to be revealed. Right?
And I used to pray for that. I used to be like, I used to hear all these beautiful stories of people like, oh, I had this experience with God and God showed me this. And I'm like, why I haven't seen that? Why didn't why can I get some of that? Like,
yeah, that's because you've been searching for him.
And I used to say, like, look, if he shows me even the smallest, I'm like, it would be it.
Wow.
I'll be sold. And it just never happened. And then, like I said, when I just least
I'm gonna put this out there, bro. That's the same type of conversation I had with Caleb.
Yeah.
If God just showed me the smallest thing, like he believed in God, But like, if he show me the smallest thing, like he need to be fully immersed, fully invested.
My
You know what I'm
son,
saying?
man.
And it's just like he, you know, so. But there's so many other teens that's like that as well too. There's so many other people that's like that, and it's just like you don't need a physical sign. You only need to believe. You know what I'm saying? And you need to take a look at your life. You want to believe God is real? Take a look at your life. Stop thinking that it was you that got you through that mess. Stop thinking it was you that got you through the domestic violence. Stop thinking that it was you that got you out of that financial rut. Stop thinking that it was you that it got you whatever to this next level, this mansion, these cars, this success or whatever. Stop thinking that it was you. It was not you. Right? That was all God. God used you and God placed something in you and then you said yes to it. Right? But what we don't do is we don't want to give God credit. The reality is that if I blow, I didn't even see the air that came out. I just know that it was there.
You know
That's
that.
faith.
Yeah.
Right? It's not the air in my lungs or whatever. I'm breathing on my own because God allows me to. You know what I'm saying? So we got to stop trying to take credit for things or whatever that we have no control. I don't have no control over tomorrow.
No.
I have zero control over tomorrow. All I know is that I have faith that it's coming.
No.
And if it comes, bet I got another day to go to another level. But if it don't, then, you know, hey.
And it's funny you said it because the older I get, like, I think like our younger selves tend to take time and tomorrow and stuff like that for granted. And the older I've gotten, it's just like, man, and every day I wake up, it's truly a blessing, man.
Yeah.
'Cause especially nowadays, I mean, people aren't, like you said, tomorrow's not promised. People ain't waking up every day.
No.
And, you know, just to wake up every morning, man, it's just like, man, like you said, you got another day.
You got another day.
Do it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, bro. You know what I mean?
I definitely agree, man. I definitely agree.
Yeah, bro. So you've been talking to me about, you know, your health journey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you ready to take that next step and go to another level, man.
Yeah. I definitely, you know, I'm definitely praying that God's gonna give me the strength that I've been lacking.
Yeah.
To, you know, finally try to turn my life around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And get back to where I used to be.
Yeah. Because let me tell y'all, before you continue, let me tell y'all what y'all see right now, right? What y'all see right now is not the Sam that I knew growing up. This dude right here was like, he was the most jacked 7th grader I ever seen in my life, bro. Like real talk. I used to think boy was on steroids, yo. I'm like, there ain't no way. Between you and Timothy, I'm like, yo, what's up with y'all, man?
And Timothy was the one that put me on. We was like, man, like middle school, he put me on metrics.
Yeah.
And I used to be like, man, this dude is crazy doing protein, taking whey protein in like 6th grade, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I used to love working out, man, and you know, and that's why I feel like it's still in here. It's still in there. I just got to get it out, man. But
yeah,
unfortunately, man, just giving into like addictions of the flesh and things like I'll be open, I'll be transparent, man. Like
yeah,
when I say addictions, I don't mean like drugs or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean like food.
yeah,
Like food was my thing, and you know, it was like, you know, when I was younger, it was ripping and running and doing things, you know, they didn't catch up to me. Then, you know, met Josie, got, you know, committed, got wifed up, you know, into a relationship, and you know, her mom wouldn't let her go out the house. You know.
yeah,
And so every day I'm in the house, you know, hanging out, eating, you know, hoko candules,
chuletas,
you know, corner store food,
yeah,
and then, you know, had Nana.
the penny and all of that,
you know,
yeah.
then we had Nana. All right, now I got to work. I got to get a job. Then, you know, high school kid, didn't even graduate when I was supposed to. So at one point it was like a dropout, working a job, got a kid already here, and I'm 17 with a child.
Yeah.
Now I got to work 2 jobs.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just life kind of caught up and then working 2 jobs and trying to, you know, make money. And then just, next thing I know, I got a little bigger, and food kind of like comforted me. You know, it made me feel good. And then when things really got dark in my life, when, you know, I just kind of, you know, isolated myself and, you know, 2 failed relationships later,
Yeah.
it's like just I know food just kind of became my friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was just something that I liked and I enjoyed, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. That accompanied with just not loving myself no more, and just I don't know, man. It just happened kind of like overnight. Like
Yeah.
it felt like it happened overnight,
Mm.
and unfortunately, right now I'm dealing with quite a different health issues.
Yeah.
Nothing that thank God, nothing that is going to take me up out of here, but
Mm-hmm.
things that definitely have changed my life.
Yeah.
Like I told you the other day, man, like my health right now, my current health,
Yeah.
has and is currently keeping me from being the man that I can be,
Mm.
the father that I can be,
Mm.
and just the overall best version of myself that I can just be a human being. Like my health has hindered all of that,
Wow.
and I'm ready to just take my life back, man. Like
Mm.
and start this journey, and
Yeah. Yeah.
just see where it goes.
Yeah. Well, you got support, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing that I know about when you want to achieve something, you got to have a solid support system around you. You know what I mean? People that's going to hold you accountable. People that's going to sit there and tell you, "Yo, come on, man. You got to get there." You know what I'm saying? You got to stay on track. You got to stay on course. I'm not saying that you're going to be flawless in this situation. However, I am going to say that you are going to be perfect. Right? The reason why I say that you're going to be perfect is Matthew 5 and 48 says, "Be perfect as our Father in heaven is perfect." Right? See, oftentimes we get it so misconstrued that I'm not a perfect individual. I'm not the perfect being. See, what we talking about flawlessness, and that's the correct word to use. However, perfection is not a choice. It's a command, bro. It's a command. He said, "Be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect." You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, when you sit there and somebody sits there and says, "I'm not perfect," then you mean to tell me that my Father in heaven is not perfect because he created me a complete being, right? Perfection means completion, right? In other words, when we say this is the day that the Lord has made, let us rejoice and be glad in it, that means it has been a perfect day. Did good things happen throughout the day? Some. Did bad things happen throughout the day? Yes. However, it's still a perfect day itself because the day came, right? And that's what I'm talking about, bro. That's the first thing that I wanted to tell you when we got on here is that don't sit there and think that you're not going to be perfect. You are going to be perfect because it's a command, right? You're not going to be flawless. You're going to make mistakes, right? You're going to stumble 7 times, but you're going to get up 8.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you have that type of mindset, like in your arsenal, bro, nothing can stop you. You know, like if you got the mindset of, yo, this is from today's Tuesday, by next Tuesday, this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
Right? And just focus just on that. Don't even look past next Tuesday. I'm looking focused on these next 6 days. This is what I want to do. And that's it. And then when you get to the next Tuesday, I'm going to focus on these next 3 days. I'm going to focus on these next 2 days. I'm going to focus on this next day. Then I'm going to focus on this next 6 days, 7 days. Like, don't get locked into a routine, right? Get locked into the mission, right? And oftentimes what happens is we get so locked into a routine, we get too complacent, we get too comfortable because we into a routine. But if you get locked into the mission and the why behind what you do, you said you want to be a better father. You said you want to be a better man, an overall human being. That's your why.
Yeah.
Right? And if that's your why, then you take that and you apply it in your mindset every day. I say it all the time, man. When we change the mind, yo, we change the game, yo. You know what I mean? Like, I've been preaching this for like 7 years, yo. When we change the mind, we change the game. You know what I mean? Like, don't be conformed to the ways of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. You know what I'm saying? These things stick with me. You know what I mean? And no, I don't know every scripture, but there are things that God will tattoo on your heart that you will never forget. You know what I'm saying? You can't do this journey or whatever without the strength of the Lord. You can't do it by yourself at all.
I believe it. Like, even just in the last couple of days, like, I just felt like the motivation, the fire, just like,
Yeah.
I'm excited. Like, in a way, like I'm sad to leave tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get this thing started.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
Well, if you've already dropped a couple of pounds.
yeah, you know, it wasn't the way I wanted it to, but yeah, like in
Right.
January,
Right.
I was in the hospital for like a week.
Yeah.
And being in that hospital was probably one of the best things that happened for me
Yeah.
because I talked to a dietitian
Mm-hmm.
and I came out the hospital and like a week later I had lost like 30 pounds.
Wow.
And it was just a lot of it had to do with talking to a dietitian and kind of understanding was people try to like diet and starve themselves and
Right.
it's not like that, man. Like
No.
you can still eat in, you know what I mean, just
Portions.
portions. There's always a healthier, better version
Right.
of what you can eat or you can swap out.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things that worked for me was I adopted the eating schedule that they had me on in the hospital.
Nice.
Like clockwork. It was coming in with my meals, you know, 8 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock noon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
There you go.
So, and it worked. So I'm like, if it worked, you know, why not just rock out with it?
Yeah.
And that's what I started doing at my house.
Mm.
And then I also, you know, cut out like processed food,
Right.
fast food, and I was cooking all my own stuff.
Right.
You
Right.
know, like, I think I was sending you pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
and it was hard work.
Yeah.
But, you know, it worked because literally I got out of the hospital on a Monday,
Yeah.
like January 10th.
Mm.
That next Monday I had a follow up visit,
Mhm.
and well, literally it was like 30, 35 pounds.
Wow.
Like that.
Wow.
And you know, then I had a little setback.
Yeah.
Because the antibiotics that had me on had like a side effect thing, and you know, but I gotta make it happen, man.
Yeah.
I gotta make it happen, especially while you know I'm still somewhat young. You know,
Yeah,
like,
man.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
100%.
Like I said, tomorrow's not promised. Today,
You ain't even
and
40 yet, B.
Nah, not yet. Not
You know what I'm
yet,
saying?
Not yet. So,
But I want you to think about this. I want you to think about, you know, Zoe. I want you to think about Cannon. You know what I'm saying? I want you to think about your younger two that you have the opportunity. Like, let that be the driving force.
I think about that a lot because it's like, you know, Nana's an adult now.
Yeah.
Caleb's on the verge of becoming an adult.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have like a do over with the two little ones.
Yeah.
You know, I had the opportunity.
Girl and boy again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was blessed, man. Had a girl, had a boy.
Yeah.
Had a girl, had a boy. And I feel like I had the opportunity because Nana and Caleb, they remember, you know, the different version of me.
Yeah.
You know, Zoe and Cannon don't.
They don't.
They just
Yeah.
always see me, you know, larger
Yeah.
and bigger.
Yeah.
And that motivates me too, because man, you know, things I want to do with them. You know what I mean? That I plan on doing with them
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So that's definitely a big, you know,
Yeah,
a
bro.
motivator and stuff like that. You know, for the foreseeable future.
Man,
So,
brother, I'm excited for what God is going to do, with you,
makes two of us.
right? I'm excited what he's going to do with you. And I say that in partnership. You know what I'm saying? Because if we partner with God, can't nothing stop us. You know what I mean? One plus God is the majority. That's what we got to understand. We perform for the audience of one, right? The Bible says to do all things as if you were to do them unto the Lord, right? So in this journey that you're on, do everything as if you are going to, you know, do it unto God. Like, God, I'm doing this for you at the end of the day, right? Because you got to look at it like this. God needs a healthy vessel to do his work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If there are things that you know that God is going to do in your life, the only way he's going to do that is if he has a healthy vessel to do it through. You know what I'm saying? He can't do it, you know what I'm saying, with people that don't be a good steward over what he's given us, right? And that's not just finances, that's also our bodies, that's also our temples. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, and just what you said right now just kind of resonates with me because it's like I abused this temple, man.
Yeah.
I really did. Like, and it kind of messes with me sometimes to think like you told him, like when I was young, man, I told you this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, I was in real good shape.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, I hope I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. Sometimes I have to ask myself this question, like I told you yesterday. When I was younger, I was very into my health and working out my body and all that stuff. But I was a very vain person, very superficial person. Everything was about looks. You know, if you ain't in shape, you don't look good. Man, I would obsess about like the littlest things, you know, and just And I went from that to being on the other end of the spectrum to where, like I told you, I've
Yeah.
completely, for the rest of my life, I will bear the scars
Wow.
that of the abuse I've put on my body.
Mm.
Things that I can't change with surgery or makeup and none of that stuff. Like I will forever bear marks and scars on my body of what I've done to my temple.
Mm.
And like I told you yesterday, I literally, looking back at it, the one thing I hated the most in life, I became.
Mm.
You know, I always thought like like if you're fat and you got stretch marks or you got hyperpigmentation, the dark spots and the black neck and all that stuff that people you get fat shamed for. You look down on other people because you think you look good and you're in shape and all that stuff. I've had it all now. I mean, I've done it all to my body, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, I literally have become the thing that I've hated the most
Wow.
at one point.
Mm.
And that's why, like, my mom used to say it all the time, like, you need to love yourself.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, of course I love myself. How
Yeah.
do I not love myself? But in hindsight, I didn't.
Mm.
Because, how do you love yourself, but then, pretty much abuse your body and
My God.
yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now realizing that, it's like, man, I got some work to do.
Yeah, bro.
And obviously, haven't been able to do it on my own.
Yeah.
So, I'm about to do it with God.
Amen. Amen. If you had a father that was that's watching this right now and they are having some issues with the drama in the woman that they're with and they got the baby daddy drama, the baby mama drama, what's one thing that you would tell them?
Communication. Keep the communication open. Effort.
Yeah.
You got to put the effort in. Be mature.
Yeah.
In your reactions and decisions you make. And in hindsight, it's bigger than just you.
Yeah.
And bigger than just you and your baby mama, your ex, or whatever you want to call her.
Mm-hmm.
Your baby dad, whatever call it, how you refer to it. It's about the children. It's about their future. Because at the end of the day, that initial relationship, it doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Now it's a different relationship.
Right.
It's a co-parenting relationship.
It's co-parenting, yeah.
And the only thing that really matters now is that co-parenting relationship stays healthy.
Yeah.
For the benefit of the kids and their future.
100%.
You know what I mean?
I would add to that, and I would say, move with a humble heart. You know what I'm saying? Have your heart postured. Move with a humble heart. You avoid a lot of unnecessary, toxic drama in your life when you move humbly, and be open to listening to one another. Be active listening is what we call it. That's part of the communication factor. And humbly accepting someone's feelings, because we don't have the right to tell someone how to feel. However, we are in charge of how you respond to the feeling. You know what I'm saying? Last thing. This walk of faith that you're now on means what to you?
I'm trying to pick the right words. To me, it means like a new beginning. Like a new beginning and like a new beginning for like an unknown future.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what God has in store for me. He might have had something in store for me my whole life, and I just never received it.
Yeah.
Because the issues I had with my faith and stuff like that. So it's like you said, like being born again.
Yeah.
It's like what's gonna happen? What's around the corner?
Yeah.
Where's this gonna go?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a new
Love
beginning,
it.
and
Yeah.
It's a sense of excitement, just like a journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a sense, just a journey that I don't know what's going to be the outcome.
Yeah.
Love
it, man. Listen, bro, it was a pleasure having you on the show today. You know what I'm saying?
Pleasure,
we got to do this more.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
I definitely.
You had a good time?
Yeah, I definitely think we're going to get, get part two.
Let's go. Let's go. So we're gonna keep the audience updated on your journey. They're gonna be praying for you. All my unshakable nation warriors out there, they're gonna be praying, and we're gonna keep it going, guys. Go ahead and make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If this was good content for you, let us know in the comments, okay? Let us know exactly what more do you want us to talk about as well too. We want to hear from you, okay? The only way this is a success is with you. So partner with us, okay? Comment below, share it with a family member or a friend, with your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your grandpa, abuela, abuelo. Share with anybody that needs to hear this message right now. All right. So that being said, y'all, until the next time, we will see y'all when we see y'all. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow worry about self, and today is all we got. And today's all we got. You make sure you impact today the best way you know how. For Samuel Santiago, Kenneth Allen Thomas, my wife Josie is what they call in them streets. All right. We'll talk to y'all later when we see y'all. One love. Peace.